Morphology of flowering plants. Let us revise some of the important points for the NEET exam from this chapter. In this plant, we are going to discuss about the modification in angiospermic plants, especially the parts of the plant includes flower. So, flower may be categorized into trimerous, tetramerous, and pentamerous, and it is based on the floral appendages. Which are the floral appendages? Calyx, corolla, androecium, and gynoecium. These are the four floral appendages. Okay, so when these floral appendages are in the multiples of 3, we call it as trimerous. If it is in the multiplication of 4, tetramerous. If it is in the multiplication of 5, pentamerous. So based on these floral appendages, multiples of 3, 4, 5, flowers are trimerous, tetramerous, and pentamerous. And remember, the swollen end of the stalk or pedicel is called as thalamus or receptacle. Okay, and out of the four appendages of the flower, calyx and corolla are the accessory part of the flower, whereas androecium is the male reproductive part and gynoecium is the female reproductive part. And when calyx and corolla are not distinct, or we can say calyx and corolla are fused, then that condition is called as perianth. Example is lily shows perianth where calyx and corolla are fused. Now here you can find the different four whorls of the flower that includes calyx, corolla, androecium is the male reproductive part that includes stamen, and gynoecium is a female reproductive part that consists of carpels or pistil. This is the bulged part of the flower called as thalamus. Now based on the symmetry, we are going to categorize into flowers into three types: actinomorphic, zygomorphic, and asymmetric flowers. So in that, first is actinomorphic. This is the representation of actinomorphic flower plus a symbol, and it shows radial symmetry, which means what? That the flower can be divided into two equal halves along any plane. This is the example for actinomorphic flower, representation of actinomorphic flower. Remember the examples for the exam: mustard, datura, and chili. And zygomorphic flower, this is the representation, percentage symbol is for zygomorphic flower, which shows bilateral symmetry, which means the flower can cut into two equal halves only by a medial cut from the central axis. This is the representation of zygomorphic flower. Example: pea, bean, gulmohar, and cassia are the example for zygomorphic flower. Now asymmetric flower is irregular and it cannot be divided into two equal halves by any plane. Example: canna is a flower that shows asymmetry. Now bract, what is bract? It is a reduced leaf, is called as bract. Okay, and it is found at the base of the pedicel. You can find the bract. Okay, now bracteate is a flower with bract. Ebracteate, flower without bract. Petaloid bract, the size of the bract is larger than flower, and bract is of various color. Example: bougainvillea shows petaloid bract, where the bract is larger than flower and it is of various color. Now types of flower based on the position: hypogynous, perigynous, and epigynous. So hypogynous means the ovary is superior and other parts are below ovary. Ovary is superior and other parts are present below the ovary. Remember example for the exam: mustard, china rose, brinjal, mango, and coconut. Perigynous is a type of flower where the ovary and other parts are at the same level, or you can say half inferior ovary. The ovary is half inferior. Example: plum, rose, and peach. And last type, epigynous, ovary is below, means inferior ovary, and other parts are above the ovary. Example: guava, cucumber, and ray floreate of sunflower. Then this is the representation of floral formula of three families: Fabaceae, Solanaceae, and Liliaceae. And already I showed you the percentage symbol. The percentage symbol is for zygomorphic and plus symbol is for actinomorphic flower. So the floral formula of these three families, remember, this representation is a bisexual flower. K for calyx, 5 units in the calyx. Corolla, 2 plus 1 plus 2. Androecium is fused, 9 fused and 1 free. Superior gynoecium and unicarpellary. Whereas in Solanaceae, bisexual flower, calyx fused, corolla fused, androecium 5, free androecium, stamens are free, gynoecium is superior but bicarpellary. Then Liliaceae, it is also bisexual, calyx and corolla are fused, that is called as perianth, androecium 3+3, gynoecium superior but tricarpellary. Now, roots three types: fibrous, adventitious, and taproot. And in that, carrot, asparagus, and turnip are the modified roots meant to store the food. And nematophore is also one type of root. Example, rhizophora, that helps in respiration. And types of estivation: valvate, waxillary, twisted, and imbricate. Remember, example for valvate: calotropis and brinjal; waxillary, papilionaceae family plants; twisted, china rose, cotton, ladyfinger; and imbricate, cassia and gulmohar. Remember the examples of these four types of estivation example. Now in stem modification we can find three types: aerial, subaerial, and underground. Remember, tendrils and thorns are aerial stem modification, runner, stolon, sucker, and offset are the subaerial modification, whereas underground are tuber, corn, rhizome, and bulb. Here example you must remember. Example for subaerial includes: for runner, cynodon; stolon, strawberry; sucker, chrysanthemum, mint, and banana; offset, pistia, and eichhornia; for tuber, potato; corn, zamicanth; rhizome, ginger and turmeric; bulb, onion, and garlic. So these examples you remember, children. It is based on NCERT textbook. That is more than enough for you for your NEET exam. Now phyllotaxy means leaf arrangement, three types: alternate, opposite, and whole. Example for alternate phyllotaxy: china rose, mustard, and sunflower; opposite, guava and calotropis; and whole is alstonia. These examples are more than enough. In case of placentation, mode of arrangement of ovule inside the ovary: marginal, example pea; axile, citrus fruits like lemon, orange, and tomato; parietal, argemone and mustard; free central like primrose and dianthus; and basal, sunflower and marigold. So these are the important point from this chapter. It is more than enough. Spend your 5 minutes and learn this chapter.